What's burning? What's burning? What's burning with KB?
It's time for What's Burnin' with Kevin KB Burns, presented by Bill Lacasse and SRG Financial Advisors. But first, please join us as we honor our great nation with the playing of our national anthem. And now your host, Kevin KB Burns.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Time for What's Burning right here on Lake TV, presented by SRG Financial Advisors, home of the mile marker formula. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris. Hey, baby. What's
up,
going on,
baby?
man?
Jumping across from a cup of coffee right here to What's Burning. Want to give a big shout out to every one of our sponsors who make this show possible. I already told you about SRG Financial Advisors, the official water of What's Burning on Lake TV. Colligan, Lake of the Ozarks. Give them a call. They'll get you hooked up with all of your water needs at home, your business, or on the go. On top of that, we want to thank our friends at Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks for the last 34 years. And then, of course, our veterinary at the lake and all over, really, the Midwest.
Yeah.
We love our friends at our vet, the official vet of Lake TV. And on today's show, Chris, this is going to be a heavy-hitting show this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Mayor Harmison from Osage Beach on. The news broke about that big new theme park, big thunders behind it, and they're getting busy on that. Spring of next year, they're starting to build it, put together. So Mayor Harmison will tell us all about it, what it's all about.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss that. On top of that, KB is going to sit down with Bill Lacasse. He's our title sponsor at SRG Financial Advisors, and they're going to catch up. You don't want to miss that. And also, Tuesday, huge election coming up, and there's some amendments. There's some things on the ballot. We're going to have Kevin Halderman with Hemp Hooray, a Lake local, who's going to tell us why he thinks it's actually a bad idea to vote yes on Amendment 3. So that'll be very informative and very educational, so you don't want to miss that. And, of course, we're going to be sending it out to Ozarks Cat and Canine, where KB has his furry friends this week, presented by our veterinary. That and a whole lot more on this week's edition of What's Burning right here on Lake TV. When we come back, it's going to be Uncle Chris sitting down with Mayor Michael Harmison.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the mile marker formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
It was a Saturday. Chris was a good dad. His water practices, not so much. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Culligan. Got a water pitcher for the fam. pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
You realize these have filters?
Chris, pour it out.
It's not going fast enough. Just done with that.
When your water's right, so is your world. I wrote that!
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
And welcome back to What's Burnin'. We've got a high-profile guest with us here today. Man, we just need to get you a room here. You're on Lake TV so much lately.
Good to see you, Chris.
It's the mayor of Osage Beach, Michael Harmison, also the owner of Harmy's Cheese Store, right?
Sir.
And
Yes, sir.
Harmy's Pooch and all that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we asked Mayor Harmison if you'd come back and join us here on What's Burnin'. We had you on the Community Spotlight show like last week.
Yeah.
And then the news breaks right after we talked to you about this huge new development in Osage Beach. And you came and you said, I just couldn't tell you yet. I had to keep it under wraps.
Nope. It was something we knew about for quite a while. Even the aldermen didn't know. There was a big announcement that came out. We had a meeting night before it came out, and I was just chomping at the bit because one of the aldermen kept saying, if we could just think of a way to get 500,000 more people down here. And I just wanted to say something so bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, the next day I said, by the way, here you go. Here's your 500,000 people. So,
right.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff.
So if you haven't heard yet, Osage Beach announcing that you've got a new theme park coming in. Big Thunder is highly involved in this. Where in the world are you going to put a theme park in Osage Beach?
If you're familiar with the Grand Glaze Bridge, on one side you have Topsider. This will be right across the water.
Okay.
Where the Celebration boat used to sit.
Yep.
There's 20 acres there, and so they already own the property, so we're not waiting on that. And they're ready to go. They came out with a very impressive plan. The pictures, and if you go on Facebook, you can actually get a virtual tour of it, and it's a $300 million project.
Yeah.
They're anticipating starting next year, being done by Memorial Day 2014. That's
24, right.
2024. And then it sounds like a quick turnaround time, but with them owning the property, and it'll happen.
Okay, so the pictures that we see are just right there on that point where the Celebration boats used to be.
Correct.
But there's 20 acres involved of this, so there's a lot more land around there involved.
Correct. And there's two phases. The first phase is a theme park. The second phase, they're looking at doing a high-end hotel, high-end condominiums. But even the developers said if this first phase goes better than they even thought, they can always switch gears and make more theme parks. One thing that we've not done a good job with yet, because somebody on Facebook the other say, where's everybody going to park?
Right.
They do have a parking garage also planned, and I'm trying to think about 500 units. 125 outside, the rest in a 4 or 5 tier parking garage.
Okay.
Right there on property.
So the 20 acres, is it like all contiguous? It's all together?
Correct.
There.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
really, they can go in phases as they want and not have to worry. So the big question that popped into my mind when I saw this. Osage Beach, right beside Grand Glaze Bridge there, right by Dog Days, down that road, Jeffries Road. So what is that going to do for traffic coming across the bridge? Is that going to bottleneck things? Is it going to be doable traffic-wise?
It is. They've done studies on that. We do have, depending who you talk to, 12, 14 million visitors coming down here. So, and that is not necessarily going to be 500,000 new visitors, but certainly going to be new visitors. But of those coming down here, that stay 2 days because they do the lake one day, they do all the amenities and the ha-ha tonka the next. Then what do? And do all the, well, now they're going to stay down here for an entire week. So, but to answer your question, and one thing that I was hoping you asked me about today was that, because from the very beginning, I've had this idea, and I threw it out there, and the first thing everybody, there's way too much money, way too much, but I've got people very interested on the state level now, and I said, we need a walk/bike pathway, a brand new bridge all by itself, running equal to the Grand Glaze.
Really? Kind of parallel beside it?
Exactly. You could go right from Topsider all the way to the new Oasis. And like I told the developers, I said, if you could get involved in this project, everybody that goes from one side of Osage Beach to the other, right now they can't walk, they can't ride their bike. But if they are on their bike and they have their own pathway, they could literally, everybody go through that park. So somebody, Magic Dragon Bike Trail is becoming huge now.
Yeah.
They could connect our city from one side to the other. And let's say somebody's riding their bike from, Osage Beach, and they're going to hook up with Katy Trail. They have to go through the Oasis.
Yeah.
And they didn't plan on stopping. They didn't plan on going on a ride or having a cold beer. But now they're there. They're going to spend $60, $80. And the nice thing about the Oasis is it's free to go. Each ride will have its own price tag, so you can just choose whether to go or not. So it's not like a theme park where it costs you $100 to spend all day.
So it's not like Disney World where you gotta, get a loan just to get in the park?
Not at all. Not at all. And the big old Ferris wheel, they are looking for 12 months out of the year. The pods are going to be heated and air conditioned.
Wow.
So they want to do Thanksgiving things down there. They want to have Christmas events. There's going to be an amphitheater. They'll have a water park, not a water park, but water things going on that you can view.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling other people. I mean, Topside eventually is going to have about 500 people.
Yeah.
They're sitting there some night and they're thinking, I can hear people over the other side of the lake, and I'm 6 beers in. I'm not going to drive over there, But they can walk across, they can bike across, and they can enjoy the amphitheater.
Just don't fall in the water.
Yeah.
Right?
So so this is very, very good news for our city. The lieutenant governor's involved. He's spoken out on this, and this is not only economic development for Lake of the Ozarks and Osage Beach, for the entire state. We are going to be the Mecca for the next few years.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you said when you were campaigning, let's make Osage Beach great again, and seems like you're on the path there, man.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that, but it was kind of some other people took hold of that. But no, I don't want to make it sound like something I'm doing, but I have let developers know we're open for business, we're pro-growth, we're pro-entrepreneurship, and then you get into the weeds. Somebody asked me earlier, is everybody for this? Well, obviously, some people are going to say no.
Right.
Somebody on social networking said, well, now what's going to happen to our quiet little lake? Well, I'm sorry, it's not a quiet little lake.
I think that was kind of gone a few years ago.
And there's plenty of things for the adults to do, there's plenty of things for the little kids to do, but we need more, family-oriented. And those kids that are 14, 16, 18, they're not going to do the bar scene. And the family comes down here, they're going to do a day of the fun stuff on the dam. They're going to do a day at Ha Ha Tonka, but now they can spend 2 days at this place.
Yeah.
And now we have other developers reaching out to us. Now that this is coming,
wow,
they're looking at other things. So this is
it snowballs.
Great. Oh,
yeah.
beautiful, beautiful.
There's so much we could talk about. I could bring up the mall. I could bring up the new apartments over there off Nichols and stuff, but we don't have time. So we're going to have to invite you to come back on, and we'll catch up with all that stuff. But congratulations on the announcement of the
Thank you so much.
theme
This is
park.
great.
That's Mayor Michael Harmison here on What's Burnin'. So coming up next, I know you want to get to know Miss Froggy, right? Well, you'll get to do that because we've got our veterinaries Cat and Canine special coming up with Furry Friends right after this.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Want to get to know local leaders better? Join Lake TV for the COMC Community Spotlight Show weekdays at 9:02 a.m., 3:02 and 7:02 p.m. Chris Schneider talks with local leaders to find out more about them and their organizations. It's the COMC Community Spotlight Show on Lake TV. Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Hey, KB back here at Ozarks Cat and Canine with KB's Furry Friends, presented by the good folks at our veterinary at the lake. And we have a sweet little girl, and of course we have the dog too. I was talking about Mary. Mary Miami Tilly and this sweet little girl right here. And her name, Mary, is?
Miss Froggy.
Miss Froggy. So I understand Miss Froggy had a visitor in her kennel.
Yes, she did. So Miss Froggy, we got a call one day in the afternoon from someone at MJ's in Gravois Mills. Said, we just had a little dog walk in the door. Walked on in, made herself at home, and so at the end of the day, our manager went and picked her up, brought her back up here. The next morning, when we came in and went in the kennel to check on her, she had a frog in her water bowl.
Uh-oh.
So that's how she got her name. Yeah.
Maybe they were just kind of hanging out. They each needed a companion, needed a friend, or the frog saw that the dog was by herself in the kennel and came over to just hang out with her for a little bit.
It could have been your frog prince. You should have kissed
That's
him.
right. You should have given him a big old kiss on the face there. So let's talk a little bit about Miss Froggy. What kind of dog is Miss Froggy? And I know she's a little skittish, but she seems like she's okay.
So
if
we
you get to know
think,
her.
based on her teeth, that she's probably around 5 years old or so. We have her listed as a wire hair terrier mix. There is still, we posted her when she came in, looking for an owner. She's awfully sweet, looked well taken care of. We're surprised somebody didn't turn up for her.
And we didn't show it.
She is a little. No, yeah, she has a mohawk.
Got a little mohawk there.
She says, "Leave it alone." She is a little skittish with strangers. So whoever is interested in her, we have a feeling that we'll probably get a lot of applications on her. But she needs an adopter that's going to know that may need a little bit of time to adjust.
Sure.
She may require 2 or 3 times of coming in and spending a little time with her before she really opens up to you. She has done okay with. So she's the smallest dog we have right now. We don't. Everybody else that we have is 3 times her size.
Right.
So when we've had her out in the yard with other dogs, she doesn't really seem interested. She doesn't want to play with them. She just wants to do her own thing. But as long as they are not jumping around in her face, she's fine sharing a space with them.
Hi.
We don't know, since we don't have anybody smaller to try her with, we don't know how she'll do with smaller dogs. Brandy, our dog lady, she kind of feels like she would probably do okay with cats as long as it would be a chill, calm cat that wouldn't be,
a little older.
She would probably do okay in a home with an animal that's got that same calm personality, not going to be up in her face all the time. Right. Probably not a good fit for a home with a puppy or young kittens or young children. We feel that she probably needs, a quiet house with not a lot of activity going on.
Yeah, she likes the quiet, but she certainly is a cute little dog. And somebody who maybe lives alone, doesn't have a whole lot of activity, you don't have a whole lot of people coming and going all the time. And so that's kind of why we're talking, little bit lower tone and not really being too loud and moving around too terribly fast. And that's obviously why we're sitting on the floor, because on occasion we like to come down to their level and make sure that they're comfortable around us, so you can kind of see them as they would act naturally in a home, taking some time like Miss Froggy does here to kind of examine everything, smell everything, check everything out, and just kind of hang out with us a little bit. And as you can see, she's very docile. She doesn't have any aggressive tendencies, and she's very nice. And like I said, if you've got a small place and you're looking for a dog that would fit the bill, Miss Froggy can probably help you out.
I am told that she is very good on a leash. And we never guarantee that dogs are housebroken, just because, they've gone through so much, showing up here and, for under whatever circumstances, then going to a new home. But she is one that we would probably say is as close to housebroken as we could say.
Once
so she has had a couple little nervous piddles in
That's
this
what I
room
mean,
with
yeah.
all of us in here.
But once she gets adjusted, she'll be fine.
She does, under normal circumstances, tend to wait until she holds it until she's walked.
That's good.
So, she has a good start on that. Should probably fall into a routine pretty good when she gets into a home.
Outstanding. Well, Ms. Froggy, we sure appreciate you taking time to hang out with us. I know sometimes new people always get dogs a little excited, but the right person with the right demeanor, or maybe you have like another little dog or a cat that's kind of laid back and just kind of a little bit more down in terms of the way that they act and conduct themselves, Miss Froggy would be the perfect dog for you. Anything that you folks have got going on? I know we're heading into the holidays a little bit, so maybe now would be a good time if folks would like to get in that holiday spirit and maybe donate a little food or make a monetary donation to the shelter.
So we have a couple things right now. One would be our food barn, of course. Once again, I think I say this like every week you guys are here.
Oh, that's fine.
We are completely out of dog food in our food barn at the moment.
Yeah.
Donations trickle in, a bag or two here. As soon as they're here, we split the big bags up into little bags, and it's gone almost instantly.
How many people do you normally have coming through the doors here in, say, a week's time that are coming in to look for food?
Oh gosh, it would be hard to count.
Yeah.
I'd say probably at least a good 5 or 6 a day, either coming in or calling to ask because a lot of people know, if they've been here before and we were out, they will call first. So, it just on a daily basis, especially toward the end of the month, you've got the people that are on, disability, Social Security. So toward the end of the month, they're out of money and, they say, I just need enough to get me by until I get my check.
And I think that's a key point to mention when you're looking around and you would like to have an animal in your home. Make sure that you can afford to keep the animal. As far as coming and adopting it, maybe initially things would work out well, but you got to kind of think long term with these animals as well. So don't adopt an animal if you know that maybe down the line you're going to run into some problems financially, so that the animal ends up back in a shelter or worse, as is the case sometimes. But if you can donate, that would be great. Of course, don't forget the Ozarks Cat and Canine Thrift Store, which is just up the hill from us here. And come by and see the dogs, the cats, as we've featured and highlighted. You got a lot of cats as well as a lot of cute dogs that would love a good home. And we appreciate our friends at our veterinary at the lake helping to present this feature. It's known as KB's Furry Friends on Lake TV. And hey, stick around. More of What's Burnin' is coming up.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the mile marker formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532. Hey, I want to welcome everybody back to What's Burnin' here on Lake TV. And of course, we'd like to take a little time to mention our sponsors. And we've actually got a couple of sponsors we're going to be talking with and talking about. And one of them is the good folks at Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, the official bottled water of What's Burnin' right here on Lake TV. They do a fantastic job of not only keeping you hydrated and refreshed with these convenient bottles of water. You can get the big water coolers in your business or in your home. You can also get quality, high quality H2O. They'll come out to your house. They'll do a little water check and let you know what the results are. And of course, they can fine-tune that high-quality H2O to your liking with a simple phone call to 573-346-5221. It is none other than Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, keeping you hydrated and doing everything they can to keep all that nastiness out of the water in your home or business. I want to turn our attention to our title sponsor, the good folks at SRG Financial Advisors, and we have Mr. Bill Lacasse in the house today. Hello, sir.
How we doing?
I'm doing very well. It's great to see you, and
It's
thanks
always
for
good to see you.
taking some time to come in and talk to us about what's happening in the financial world, because as we know, it has been all over the road.
Yeah, I tell you what, all those things that we've talked about over the last few months some of them are kind of coming to fruition. And we're starting to see a few odd end things that making the world kind of a rough place to live in all of a sudden.
Certainly.
The inflation, of course, is always with us here lately and is always being an issue. We hear that it's starting to back down a little bit. You see gas prices starting to get a little bit better, but it's still kind of expensive to go into the grocery store these days. And you remember when we were, a few months back, we started talking about the idea that there were going to be some food shortages, things that were going to start,
absolutely,
that were just not going to be available. And I have got 8 items here that I want to talk about that are everyday things that a lot of people use on an ongoing basis that are in short supply.
Well, this is rather timely because we are approaching the holidays.
Yes.
We've got a lot of different things coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all the events in between where people are going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
We already know that it's going to cost more for the Thanksgiving dinner, that traditional Thanksgiving dinner of turkey and various other things. And certainly that will carry over to Christmas. And who knows if it doesn't really spike or take off a little bit more before we get in between the goalposts, if you will, of Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, any time that there's a shortage of anything, prices go up. It's just kind of the way that works. So, off the bat, one of the things that you probably don't think about a lot, but if you're a hummus lover, if you like eating hummus, chickpeas are in very short supply. And hummus is made out of chickpeas.
Sure is.
That goes back to the Russian-Ukraine war. They didn't get a crop out or a crop in for hummus. So this is going for chickpeas. And so this is going to be a problem for hummus, not only for the rest of this year, but probably going into next year until maybe the next crop in the next growing season. That sounds bad, but it's not like hummus is going to be one of those things that you live or die by. If you don't have hummus, you'll just kind of have to go down the road. But the next thing on the list is corn. Corn is going to be very, very short this fall.
And I noticed that off and on throughout the season this year, during the summer season, when traditionally a lot of people like to grill, and they'll throw an ear of corn on the grill or what have you. And there were some places that had it, there were some places that didn't, and those places that did, boy, the
you hit it right on the head, and that it's very spotty. And the problem is that production wasn't great this year. I mean, as far as the condition of the crop, we had a lot of not enough rain in a lot of spots, a lot of issues in regards to that. But I tell you something that is, that there's an offshoot of not just having corn to throw on the grill. Cereal, for example.
Right.
We're probably going to see a shortage of cereal. Things like corn syrup, that goes in sweetener and just about everything that anybody eats or drinks that has a sweet taste to it.
Well, maybe that's a good thing for people who are trying to lose weight.
Well, it may be, but
it's
going to cause prices to go up across the board on all of those things. Popcorn,
right?
Popcorn's going to get a little bit more expensive. A lot of this is also being made worse by the fact that ethanol producers are right now, I was just looking at the spot market, there's corn contracts where you go out and you make a contract with a farmer to deliver a certain amount of corn, or you can just buy grain or corn on the open market, the cash market. And ethanol producers are virtually buying all the spot corn that they can, with the idea that they're going to store it and then resell it next year overseas, because this is going to be an ongoing issue, an ongoing problem. So they're seeing this as a way to be able to make profit going on into the future. Tomato products, anything made out of tomatoes, they're going. I forget the name of that town over in Italy where they have the gigantic tomato fight. I don't think they're going to do that
Not this year.
This will probably
be the year. It's going to be on hiatus for at least a year.
Exactly. And then you were talking about the holidays. Turkeys are going to be in short supply this year. They had a huge problem with bird flu, which, anytime you have less of anything, prices, of course, go up. So that is going to, without a doubt, maybe alter some of the eating plans that people have for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It may not be that turkey bird this year. It might be a bunch of little Cornish game hens or something.
I was going to say it's more than likely going to be a non-traditional Thanksgiving. Hopefully pork prices won't be too terribly bad so people could get away with a ham. But who's to say that hams won't be in high demand now, knowing that turkey is going to be up there. And so everybody's going to go to a Plan B or a Plan C or all the way.
Well, you may want to get your order in for a honey-baked ham right now.
Yeah.
Just to be sure that you can get one of those, because it may be that everybody, runs to that. Now, here's one that's going to hit everybody kind of hard.
Ouch.
Anybody likes to have that beer at the end of the day. Prices of beer are going up, and there's going to be a huge shortage of beer for a weird reason. CO2.
Yes.
There's a CO2 shortage. Of course, we worry about greenhouse gases, but right now we have a shortage of CO2. We need a little more greenhouse gas in a bottle to be able to produce beer. The other side of that, something that you wouldn't even think about, frozen food, especially frozen pizza, is going to be in short supply.
Frozen pizza.
Once again, because of CO2.
Yeah.
They use CO2 to be able to keep pizza and frozen foods fresh and things like that. So, suddenly you're going to see the freezer aisle is going to look a little bit different too.
I was going to say, do you think stores will then be minimizing the amount of space they use, where you would see maybe 2, possibly 3 aisles of frozen food cases? They might have to condense that down in order to save money.
And think how scary that will be when people start seeing that. You remember when toilet paper started being a little bit short?
Yes, sir.
What did people do?
Exactly.
Hoarding. Right. So.
And here's the thing about that. I mean, a lot of these items that you mentioned, people will go to extremes in order to get them.
Right.
as is normally the case with a lot of things, emotion will play a huge part in that. So we could see fights in a parking lot over frozen corn or frozen pizza. And don't be surprised. I mean, how is it during the holiday season when people are out shopping and they find a good parking space, and we see what happens there? Or they have the Black Friday sale and somebody's beating the daylights out of someone else over a computer or an electronic product.
If everybody's hungry at home, that could cause a bigger fight than the computer.
Yeah, well,
you know, and that's some of the kind of the scary parts about, you know, a lot of this as well. And you know, like you say, moving into the holidays, everybody takes for granted that there's going to be turkey on sale for 39 cents a pound or something, you know, like that. That's not going to be the case.
Chicken.
Right, you know,
and even chicken's high right now.
Right, chicken's high right now. So, along with that, chocolate is becoming a huge problem.
Now you're hitting a little too close to home.
I understand, and it's with the fact that we have a shortage of edible oils. You know, the price of edible oils, things that, you know, the oil that is put into a lot of different products that is considered okay to eat. You know, my doctor says I shouldn't, but you know, we all do. But the edible oil supply is short, but that is also going to cause chocolate to have a huge, big problem. Olive oil is in great supply, or is in lesser supply right now, is in great demand, and is having a hard time supplying the needs that we have right now, let alone going into the future, because of droughts in Spain and Italy. Their production is down somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30%. So once again, anytime that you see a shortage of things like this, you're going to start seeing the price of stuff going up. And this is just kind of scraping the surface of what's happening out there. We are going to have to get used to a new normal, in that there are always going to be holes in the things that you want to purchase. You know, we have gotten very used to the idea that, you know, let's play just pretend and say that you woke up this morning and you say, I have a real craving for Indian food. You know, we're used to going to the grocery store and having available to us anytime that we want it, all of the different ingredients to be able to put together some sort of an exotic meal like that, and actually pull something, you know, out of the hat that you know, years ago would not be possible.
Right.
We're moving back into that because there's going to be certain parts of that are going to be missing.
Well, the thing about all of this is not just the fact that these particular items themselves, but how they affect other areas as well. CO2 certainly, with what's going on there. So I will tell you, folks, you have been forewarned. Don't go to the stores and start hoarding. Don't go to the stores and start pushing and shoving for corn, for olive oil, for chocolate, for CO2, or whatever else it is that you may need. You know, do things in moderation, stock up, because now you know. And of course, there is certainly a lot more coming. I got to tell you that this is a little scary, and it kind of lends itself back to the days when we were rationing during World War II.
Right.
Hopefully it doesn't get quite that bad. But
hopefully not, yes.
Yeah. If it does, there is something you can do, and that's plan ahead. Kind of like your financial future.
That's it.
Through SRG Financial Advisors. You plan ahead and you can get things taken care of. Bill LeCass, always a pleasure, sir.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you. Yeah. And if you need their services, give them a call at 573-302-7212. They're located in Osage Beach, and they'd love to help you out. We've got more coming up, so stick around. It is What's Burnin' on Lake TV.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
And we're back on What's Burnin'. Big shout out to Bill Lacasse. That guy is a well of knowledge.
I love Bill. I love his wife, Janice. They are just great. Everybody over there at SRG, I mean, they wrote that mile marker formula. They're just geniuses over there.
And I can tell you, that's my financial advisor. They're my accountants, my CPAs, and I wouldn't want to be without them. I'll tell you that, so give them a call. All right, so we look at local headlines. Obviously, you got to catch up with Mayor Michael Harmison. A lot going on, but another thing I thought was pretty cool is last year was the first official black bear hunting season for the state of Missouri.
Yep.
And as we look at year 2, which is underway, already been a handful of bears harvested.
Yeah, absolutely. More than 5,880 hunters applied for these permits. They only gave out 400 of them. So nearly, 6,000, and they only gave out 400. I think 8 bears have been harvested so far. Now, they have what they call BMZs. Those are bear management zones where they allow you to do the hunting for these bears. The 8 bears have come out of 3 BMZs, and including in the lake area. I don't think a bear has been harvested in the lake area, but hunting is going on here. And here's a cool thing. 3 of the 8 bears harvested taken with bows this year. Can you imagine getting a bear with a bow?
That's more challenging. That's more of an accomplishment. I'm not a hunter, but isn't that considered more of a challenging hunt when you use a bow over a rifle?
I think so, because you got to get pretty close in order to shoot it with a bow. And then, I mean, does that arrow... I mean, it's not like a gunshot.
And heaven forbid that you just nick him and torque him off and he comes chasing you, because those guys are fast. And hey, word to the wise, don't play dead.
Don't play dead. We said to play dead, and apparently we were wrong.
Yeah, we had lawsuits out the wazoo.
Don't listen to us.
Don't listen to us, knuckleheads. So that's pretty cool, and to update you there. Also, this Saturday on Lake TV, it's our annual Veterans Day Parade.
Yeah.
The Elks Lodge puts on. They're going to have free chili dogs and chips and refreshments. We'll start our coverage live at 1 o'clock. KB will be on the broadcast there. That's going to be a great one. Always love seeing all the floats and the veterans and the bands. And so if you can't get out to that, you definitely want to tune into Lake TV.
Absolutely. And, anything we can do to salute and thank our veterans, God bless you. Thank you so much for all that you've done.
Yeah, and tons of Veterans Day festivities going on. You can check out funlake.com/events to see an entire rundown. Of course, Lake Expo does a great job of keeping us updated with their stories. So we're going to go to break. We come back. Huge issue hitting the ballot on Tuesday, November 5th. That's this coming Tuesday. Amendment 3, the recreational marijuana. Do we legalize it? Do we not? Kevin Halderman, who's the owner of Hemp Parade, is going to join me to talk about why you should not be fooled by the smoke and mirrors that's actually hiding inside of this amendment.
Yeah, he's saying no on this.
Right.
Interesting.
So we'll talk about that when we return to Lake TV.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
And we're back here on What's Burnin', and as I told you on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about Amendment 3. Everyone across the state talking about this ballot issue that hits the ballot on this upcoming Tuesday. And so to tell us a little bit about Amendment 3, I have Kevin Halderman, who's the owner of Hemp Parade in Osage Beach, a lake local. Kevin, thanks for joining us, man.
I appreciate the time.
Yeah, man. So I was kind of surprised as I started to hear all of this, leading up over the last few months. For me, I was like, yes, Amendment 3, vote yes. But you contacted me and you said, this is not what it appears to be. People need to know. They need to be informed. They should not vote yes. And so I'm going to ask you, man, just come out and tell us, why do you think people should vote no this coming Tuesday?
So we really feel there's a big hidden agenda behind this amendment. What the amendment actually puts into place is a person called the Chief Equity Officer. I'm going to effectively call them the CEO of the state right now. There's been certain protectionist clauses that are put in the Constitution currently with the current medical program that does not allow any elected official to regulate any part of the medical industry. So if they try to legislate a new law or try to control any type of authoritarian position that DHSS or the department might have, they can't do that.
Wow, it takes all the power away from them.
The power away from that.
And puts it in whose hands?
In DHSS. And that's currently already in the amendment.
So what is that in DHS?
DHSS, Department of Health and Senior Services.
Okay, so it gives them all the power, no elected officials.
All the power to regulate the current medical marijuana industry.
Gotcha. And so for someone like you, Hemp Parade, I mean, you guys have some really cool products, not just hemp products and Delta 8 and hybrid products and vape devices and candles and all kinds of cool stuff. But this, as far as medical marijuana and recreational marijuana, could be a great thing, but you're trying to say this is not the way to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. So when DHSS selects this Chief Equity Officer, or the CEO, there's no oversight given. And once this new current amendment is passed, or if it passes, DHSS can no longer regulate that person's duty also. In the amendment, it currently states that they can only be removed for cause, and the department, meaning Department of Health and Senior Services, cannot interfere with the regulation of their duties either. So now you've got a pyramided tiered structure that isolates that person from any type of legislative body.
And that would set a dangerous precedent and could mean down the road could have serious ramifications for people, not just medically, but recreationally.
Well, this person's duties, I've kind of broke it apart. This person's duty is actually got 4 or 5 actual directives that are put into the amendment. One of them is to generate public education. One of them is to also, the Chief Equity Officer shall establish public educational programming. The Chief Equity Officer shall establish public targeted assistance, technical assistance, programming dedicated to providing communities that have been impacted by the prohibition with information detailing the licensing process. The Chief Equity Officer shall inform individuals of the support and resources that the office can provide the individuals and entities interested in participating in licensed activities under this article. So none of those actually, there's only one of those actually say anything about marijuana.
And that's the raising awareness and education.
Yeah. So if you look at establishing public education programming, that means K through 12 possibly. That could mean homeschooling. That could mean church schooling. It's not defined what these are in this clause. When we talk about support and resources, those are programs that are going to be developed by this person in this office. Again, not pertaining towards anything in the marijuana industry.
So basically, like we've seen a lot from our federal government, a lot of hidden things and hidden agenda, as you said, because essentially it's a petition, because they're looking to amend the current law. It's a 38-page petition, and as you're revealing, some of it has nothing to do with marijuana, whether it's recreational or medicinal purposes. And so this would be a dangerous precedent. And so I think this is going to raise the question for a lot of people out there that, okay, well, if they believe recreational marijuana should pass, and this isn't the way, how are they going to see that come to fruition?
So, I've heard from a lot of people talk, well, we have to do it right now, if not when. Representative Hicks in the legislative body, last year, they did try to get it put through committee on Bill 2704.
Okay.
I sat in on that bill with some development of it. I know Representative Hicks personally. I know some of the people that were involved with that bill. I spent time over the last year at the House and the Senate talking to legislators. That bill will get re-brought up in the spring. If the people want legalized cannabis, they need to speak out for it, and they need to inform their legislative body. I mean, that's a simple case.
So would it be a year, best case scenario, if we vote no on Amendment 3, as we're forced to get ready to wrap up, but if we vote no on Amendment 3, best case scenario gets brought back up in the spring next year come November, could vote yes, and hopefully by a better bill or a better amendment?
Probably not another amendment process. I mean, they've raised a ton of money. I don't see them raising $7 million again to put another amendment together. But through the Senate and the House, through the legislative body, there would be a vote in May on this bill that's going to be proposed. And so effectively it could be signed into law by August 31st by the governor.
Wow, which would be wild. It's worth noting too, Governor Parson is one of the many noteworthy politicians and powers that be that are anti-voting yes on Amendment 3. Kev, I know we can come by and see you at Hemp Parade and Osage Beach, but for those out there trying to get maybe further educated or informed leading into Tuesday, is there anywhere you can push them or any of the resources that you've compiled or found helpful that they could maybe look into?
There's a couple of conservative websites. No on Amendment 3.
Okay.
So it's actually no on a3.com.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest one that I've been dealing with and had any type of association with. But when you were talking about the legislative body and people being against it, the Secretary of State has came out against it. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch has put 2 opinion articles against it. The mayor of St. Louis, the
So
mayor
this
of
isn't a
Kansas
partisan
City.
issue because you're seeing this is bipartisan across the board. A lot of people against this. So get informed and educated.
Yeah.
Most importantly, coming up this Tuesday, get out and vote and let your voice be
Definitely
heard.
vote.
Kevin Alderman from Hemp Parade. Appreciate you coming on and giving us a little
appreciate
insight,
the time.
my friend. We'll be back on What's Burning with Uncle Chris after this.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Don't want to miss this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake, another $300 million development.
Wow, and this thing is really cool too, so we'll tell you about that. And Will tries out for the Osage Indians.
Didn't go probably that well, I'll tell you that. We got our hometown hero presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center.
And a big interview about something on the ballot.
That and a whole lot more on this week's Cup of Coffee with Uncle Chris and Wild Will.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
All right, so what a show it's been on this week's edition of What's Burnin', presented by our good friends SRG, Financial Advisors, home of the mile marker formula. Big shout out to Colligan, Lake of the Ozarks, the official water of What's Burnin' right here on Lake TV. Of course, our veterinary, the official veterinary of What's Burnin' right here on Lake TV. That was a sweet, furry friends. Did want to let you guys know that that pet's already been adopted.
Yeah, so Miss Froggy's already gone.
She gone, but lots of pets for you to adopt at Ozarks Cat and Canine. So big shout out to our veterinary. And then, of course, Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at Lake of the Ozarks the last 34 years. And it's been a great show. A lot going on, as we told you about on Lake TV. But we want to tell you guys, next week's going to be another great edition of What's Burnin'. We have some great guests.
Yeah, Watchdog, we're going to have them on. They've been keeping tabs on everything going on in the community, so they'll update us on those kind of things. And I mean, it's going to be a good show.
Jenny Brinkman will be on to keep you guys up to date. And we'll have David Ridgely from Osage River Popcorn to have a little sampling. Some of the great sweet treats they've got for this time of the year. So it's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss it. But most importantly, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, allowing us to do what we love best. Until next week, for Uncle Chris and our entire crew, goodbye and God bless.